WWE changed their Bloodline creative plans. They've also secretly released another talent and possibly lied to another release star. I'm Luke Cohen, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Quickly before we get into the full news today, there was a lot of fans wondering if Tony Khan, who is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, would sell his beatdown from the Elite during the very real-life NFL draft which started yesterday. Fightful Select had reported that Khan was selling the neck injury backstage, even on a closed set when he didn't need to, and it has now been confirmed that he did indeed wear a neck brace while doing his NFL draft picks.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Tony Khan, I appreciate the commitment to the bit. In a bizarre bit of what a weird wrestling world we currently live in, this shot of Tony Khan was introduced to a viewing audience by WWE Raw commentator Pat McAfee, who even referred to the move that Khan took, the Meltzer Driver, on Dynamite, a clip that Pat McAfee himself shared on Twitter.
The last thing we need is for him to look like Tony Khan, who took a Meltzer Driver. Just the other night, Wednesday night, he took a Meltzer Driver, I do believe.
That's right.
Guy's got a broken neck, and he's battling through so he can pick up Brian Thomas Jr., and that mustache is never not going to be sweet, and Doug Peterson's 3 seats away going, the f*** is going on?
It's just a lovely, friendly reminder that while this is a wrestling war between companies, the people in the trenches are just having fun and are all friends. We also just wanted to quickly send out our congratulations to Erik and Valhalla, who announced via Instagram yesterday that they are expecting a baby boy. Erik has been off TV since September of last year, with his Viking Raiders partner Ivar getting a singles push of sorts. There's rumours that Ivar might get drafted to NXT during this year's draft, but it would appear that he won't be going with Valhalla for the time being. Speaking of the 2024 draft, and it kicks off tonight on SmackDown, finishing up on next Monday's Raw. WWE announced the rules for this year's draft and also announced the draft pools for both shows, revealing that the bloodline of Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman are all available for drafting tonight. This shouldn't signal the return of Roman Reigns though, as reports are he'll be taking quite a bit of time off following WrestleMania. Jimmy Uso is not part of the faction being drafted after being kicked out by Solo and Tama Tonga, and many fans spotted he isn't part of the 2024 draft at all. And that is because, as reported by Fightful Select, Jimmy Uso has been sidelined with an undisclosed injury. Fightful note we weren't given details on how long he's out. Jimmy joins Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio on the injured shelf for WWE in recent weeks, but at least one of them grew a sweet mustache. Speaking of Jimmy Uso and WrestleMania, and his brother Jey Uso opened up to James D'Lo of Gorilla Position about their Mania match, which was roundly criticized by fans for being, well, not very good. For those of you who are into this sort of thing, Dave Meltzer gave it just 3/4 of a star in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. But it wasn't just Dave and, well, the majority of WWE fans who weren't fans of the match, as Jey Uso himself wasn't overly pleased about it either, and he revealed why he thinks their 11-minute match didn't quite hit the mark.
I just said this as someone, I kind of felt like we did let the people down.
Really? You feel that?
Yeah, man, because I wanted to go out there and have a straight-up banger, too. I wanted to do the wrestling part, but let alone make sure the emotion part's there. It was just a time issue. You know what I'm saying? You just got to play your position on the team. That's what happened.
And is that something that happens on the night? Like, do you find out just before your time is cut?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yo, man, they went over this many minutes. Sorry. It's, it's all good. Just go out there and handle business.
And we'll have more on those bloodline plans being changed after this word from today's sponsor, the Wrestling Masterclass.
Ever dreamt of breaking into the professional wrestling business as a wrestler, promoter, booker, commentator, referee, journalist? podcaster, YouTube star, or another key role, Wrestling Masterclass is a historic online course featuring over 70 HD video lessons, podcasts, and seminars with some of the world's top wrestling experts, both in the ring and behind the scenes, including Will Ospreay, Raven, Dutch Mantell, Doug Williams, Mike Chioda, and so many more. Start your journey today at WrestlingMasterclass.com.
Tama Tonga made his WWE debut following WrestleMania as the Bloodline story in WWE reached its next chapter by introducing him as the newest member of the faction. Tama Tonga coming into WWE has been a long time coming, with the company wanting to sign him for the better part of 10 years. He had long been rumored to be joining WWE and specifically joining the Bloodline faction due to his family connections. And just before the second night of WrestleMania, fellow Bloodline family member Jacob Fatu was telling people that he had signed with WWE as well. Jacob Fatu is the son of Samuel Fatu, who wrestled as the Samoan Savage and the Tonga Kid, and is the brother of Rikishi and Umaga, making him cousins with Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa. For a bigger deep dive into this family tree, check out Ollie Davis's Bloodline Explained video, which is linked to in the video description down below. He also is, in his own right, a former MLW World Champion, finishing up with that promotion earlier this year. Mike Johnson of PW Insider reported that Jacob Fatu would be debuting for WWE very soon, noting that the original plan was to bring him into the Bloodline storyline tonight on the April 26th SmackDown. However, he has since updated this report on PW Insider Elite to say that those plans have changed. Johnson notes that Fatu likely won't debut on tonight's episode of SmackDown, and he's not even scheduled to be backstage for the tapings. Johnson writes that there is a plan in place for his debut, but the Bloodline creative is laid out in a meticulous manner. One source told Johnson that there is no rush on Fatu's debut in WWE. Would you like to see Jacob Fatu debut on tonight's episode? Say yeet in the comments, but if you think they should hold off, put no yeet in the comments instead. But while WWE have brought in Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu and recently re-signed Finn Balor, there have been a series of releases. Last Friday, it was announced that Jinder Mahal, Sangha, Veer Mahan, Zion Quinn, and Xia Li had been released from their WWE contracts, which was followed up on Monday with the release of Von Wagner, and the day after that, Cameron Grimes revealed on social media he'd also been released. As we just mentioned with Finn Balor, this comes at a crucial time for WWE, as several of their top stars have contracts coming up. Drew McIntyre reportedly only has 5 to 6 weeks left on his deal, while Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins have their deals coming up in June. It's been reported that Tony Khan has interest in bringing all of these names into All Elite Wrestling and has outbid WWE on Mercedes Moné, Kazuchika Okada, and Will Ospreay this year already, which might be why Balor was re-signed with a big money offer according to Fightful Select. And if WWE.com is to be believed, there has been another release. Guru Raj has been moved from the NXT roster to the alumni page of WWE.com, which also has the other recent releases. WWE have not said anything official about this release. Raj was brought into WWE as part of a push by the company to try and expand into the Indian market, which famously brought us Jinder Mahal as WWE Champion for a bit, and, more recently, the 2023 Superstar Spectacle, which was a house show in India. The 2021 version of that show, which Raj wrestled on, was presented as a much bigger show. All 10 wrestlers of Indian descent on that show now no longer work with WWE. And speaking of those releases, Cameron Grimes posted a very emotional and heartbreaking video to his social media to announce his release from WWE, which prompted a slew of positive messages from those within the company, like Wade Barrett, Samantha Irvine, and Damian Priest, to those in AEW like Swerve Strickland, and TNA stars like Mike Bailey, Mike Santana, and Matt Hardy. Grimes has always been well liked in the wrestling community and was seemingly very well liked in WWE, and now he has told Busted Open Radio that he was so well liked, he was even told just last week that he did not need to worry about getting released from the company. Grimes claims that following the releases last Friday, he was told by a high executive last week that he would always have a job in WWE. He added, "I was told I would never have to worry about losing my job here," after expressing my concerns like that to him. And then, 5 days later, they called me and told me that I do lose the job. Grimes was brought up to the WWE main roster in last year's draft and picked up a couple of wins over the likes of Baron Corbin and Ashante Adonis, but has not won a match since last May. He talked about his lack of push on Busted Open, noting that he was always pitching ideas to writers, but that got him a reputation of being bitter. I don't understand that process. I don't understand how I came off as being kind of bitter. I guess every week when you're asking for work, I guess it starts annoying people, you know? I guess I could see that. Over in AEW, and there has been a lot of talk recently and reports that Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, known as the Motor City Machine Guns, will be joining the ranks of All Elite Wrestling now that they have finished up with TNA. While reportedly a deal has not been finalized, the agreement is in place for them to join AEW. So it was rather surprising that when AEW posted that a tag team would be debuting this Saturday on Collision, it wasn't the Motor City Machine Guns, and instead Zach Gibson and James Drake, the grizzled young veterans. Gibson and Drake finished up with WWE last September after requesting their releases and have since done dates with Deadlock Pro and TNA, making their debut for them at January's Hard to Kill. And we closed this show the way we opened it, talking about Tony Khan and his attack from the Elite on Dynamite. However, it wasn't a great number for them this week, as AEW Dynamite pulled in 683,000 viewers, its lowest viewership since January. Its low viewership, coming off the back of a pay-per-view, is credited to audio issues that TBS suffered during its first hour and the NBA playoffs, which it went head-to-head with. The high points of viewership, according to WrestleNomics, were the opening of the show, Mercedes Moné's interruption of Willow Nightingale, Chris Jericho's promo, and the end angle with the Elite. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, the idea of doing these big angles, like the Elite attacking Tony Khan and airing the CM Punk footage, is because the company is in a critical period of negotiating a new deal with Warner Bros. Discovery and are looking to boost their ratings as much as possible. Our latest WrestleTalk original, where Pete is reacting to every time Roman Reigns should have lost the Universal Championship, goes live tomorrow, so why not check out Ollie Davis reacting to all of his CM Punk reactions.